What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at man of the match Eriksen. He is a relatively cheap player. I will just quickly get rid of that. He is a relatively cheap player, 40-ish K on both consoles. And it's just interesting because Eriksen for me has always been very, not necessarily underrated, because he is okay at the game. Obviously he's way below the curve at the moment, only being 87. Obviously he has lost his Prem links due to move, or I think it was an actual move, not a loan, to Inter Milan, and I feel like that's had a massive impact on him, because Denmark, not the easiest nation to link. You still can do it. Obviously, there is a lot of good Serie A players out there right now, so there is chances of linking him there. But I feel like his overall rating has kind of slowly decreased. We'll have a look at the generations and everything about that, because he is 28 years old, so he's had a few years in FIFA now. Obviously, I really like his dribbling. I feel like because he's, well, to be fair, it feels a lot smaller than 5'11", but definitely feels quite a nice dribbler, and I'm interested to see what this card's all about. So let's jump into the review. Let me know down below, have you played with many man of the match cards? I know this is kind of like one of the first sets we've got. Personally didn't get Greenwood in the end, which is crazy, but we will be getting in for the Man U team at some point, so stay tuned for all of that. Like and subscribe. Let's get into the review. So with Eriksen, he is a 4-star skiller with the 5-star weak foot. Obviously 5'11", like I previously mentioned. He is right-footed with a high work rate. Pace-wise, it's a little bit on the lower side. 75, not the greatest in the world, but definitely can add that hunter. You could add a shadow on if you really wanted to, which would bump it up to 85. And I feel like it's touching that. It's usable. It's not necessarily amazing, but he can be used better with that hunter. Obviously 85 shooting, as you can see, 81 finishing, 88 shot power, 93 long shots, which is quite nice, with the accompany of flair trait, and that is it. So no outside of the foot or finesse shot, so unfortunately we don't get that one. Passing wise, fantastic. Definitely the kind of highlight of this guy's stat card, really. Obviously everything's pretty much above 87 by the looks of things, and that's pretty good, to be honest. For an 87 rated card, very happy with them stats. Dribbling wise, his agility and balance seem a little bit lower than what I think they should be. I feel like he's got a nice turn and circle. He is a very lean build card. He's not necessarily stocky in any means, so his turning is quite nice. Obviously, he's got great composure, great ball control. You link all them together and you've got a lovely dribbler and passer. He's not necessarily the guy that's going to absolutely skill past all of the team, maybe do a little rainbow flick over the keeper and backheel it in the net, but he's definitely going to be able to put a big pass out. In the Serie A team, I feel like there is a lot of cams, but I think this guy definitely comes in at a nice price and definitely can really puts the money up against some of the others. I know we did just get a player moments Dybala that does like to play that centre forward cam role, but you could even just push him up top and then play this guy in the middle. But then he has got the kind of competitiveness against, or he's got the competition, in fact, against Alisson Drew. How do you say it? Gomez. I can't remember his first name, but obviously Gomez is a team at a group stage card, and that is a very nice cam also. So let's jump into some gameplay, see what Eriksen can do, and then we'll jump into the overall. So with Eriksen, obviously, in the middle, he plays well. I like his skills, and like I say, his dribbling, you can just see here, it obviously does get tackled, but he does win the ball back from the guy just messing around with it. And honestly, I just feel like he's very slick with it. He's got lovely composure on the ball, and his ball control is very nice. And we see it consistently. We see here a little flick up, and of course we're going to bang that with Sterling, because why not pass that? He's getting tackled left, right and centre. Strength is not his main point in this kind of version, but he definitely can win the ball back. Little drag back, and you see there just even the minute touches this year send defenders the wrong way and give you that advantage. If you've got the acceleration to kind of deal with it, you're absolutely laughing, because that big sprint away can then lead into a pass that leads into a goal. It's as simple as that. If you play it smart, then these cards can be utilised very well. We see him there losing the ball. It's always bound to happen at some points, so it's always kind of like that balance of how much are you getting out of this card? Is he just losing the ball consistently? Is he managing to push forward? Is he getting goals, assists, contributions? We see a lovely ball there, Ronaldo just tipping it over the bar, as we then find this final clip. And honestly, I was impressed a little bit. He's not necessarily the greatest player in the world, but for what you're paying for him, I think he's good. He's decent. So just to start off, I love the background of the man of the match. I don't know, it's very vibrant. It pops on the kind of like the overall, to be honest. And to be honest, I was waiting for man of the matches to pop up, and we have managed to get a few now. I know we've had some Sud and Lib man of the matches, but nothing really worth giving a review on. Eriksen, anyone above like 85, 86, I'm always considering, just because some people like to play with a cheaper team. And that's fair enough. I think that's a great mentality to have on FIFA. Unfortunately, when you do get to the Division 1s, the Division 2s, even 3s now, to be honest, you've normally got to have a big team in Rivals. And the fact that they've brought over the skill-based matchmaking to friendlies is just even worse as well. I've noticed a huge difference from going Division 2 or top end of Division 2 to Division 1. The level in players that you're playing against, even in friendlies, is just unreal. There is obviously some people who I'm beating now as I'm slowly getting in towards the kind of rhythm of it. It's just too sweaty, and honestly, I sometimes just want a chilled game. I want to be able to try Eriksen out without having to go against a god squad, even though yes, that is kind of what people want to play him against. But at the same time, the level, like if you're playing Eriksen, for instance, and you're in Division 5, it's going to be way different than playing against someone in Division 1 with Hullet, Vieira, even Team of the Year, Kimmich, Bruno, all of them. It's going to be totally different with how he's playing and how he comes up against them. There's going to be different levels of players. So I try and kind of like bring it into multiple aspects of going against good people, maybe just going on a little classic game, trying him against someone who's in a lower division. I don't know if that is still skill matchmaking or if it is just solely the featured ones that are obviously skilled. So it's interesting to see. I do notice a big difference in classic to the featured. There normally is a hell of a lot more sweat, but that could just be the objectives, to be honest. But overall, I've given him a 7.8, and mainly because he is behind the curve, and I still stand by it. I do like the card. I feel like it's got a lot of linkable factors, like the fact that Inter have got, that is bright, the fact that he's got so many special cards around him, from the goalkeeper to the strikers, to Martinez having a striker left forward and right wing, to then Hakimi, to then Vidal, Nainggolan. There's so many cards that you can link him with within his own club. Eriksen obviously has an 86 himself. There is literally a couple of K between them, which is crazy, just because there was obviously so many packs being opened during Team of the Year that this card got packed so many times. And then obviously if you wanted to look at the Denmark links, I know there is the two icons. One of them you cannot link him with, but then the other one is there. Like, I think more than anything I'd be looking at his prime or baby, but I feel like his prime for me would have the kind of upper hand, even though not the greatest of icons. Then you do have the likes of Delaney. Is it Hochberg? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm just going to leave it there. There is a few Denmark players, but nothing really worth shouting home about in terms of like you're actually going to play them with Eriksen in a team, which is a shame because a Denmark team would be quite nice. But looking at his generations then, we started in FIFA 11 for Ajax, managed to do a few years there. FIFA 14, after his team of the season, he gets a call up to Spurs, and he does well. I feel like he was one of their best players, if not their best player at some point in the years, and he was phenomenal. Team of the season after team of the season, we saw a 96, Christ, I can remember that card, and then obviously during FIFA 20, something happened and he did make his move to Inter Milan and managed to get a winter refresh, a summer heat, and then now we're starting with another inform and a man of the match. Could this be the kind of go for a team of the season at the end? It would be very interesting and really put him in a perspective of where he is at in terms of his career now. If we were to look at some cams then, that's going to be the main thing. I feel like his main competition, if I'm not broken on this, is Gomez. He is a quality card, and I think hands down I will always choose him over Eriksen. But in terms of the price difference, you always got to make that decision. Are you looking to spend almost 200k on a cam, or would you settle for a little bit of a lower downgraded version of him? I know there's only a 1 difference, but you can just see in the stats, from a 92 pace, 90 dribbling with the 83 shooting and 87 passing to 75, 86, 85, 90 with a 65 physical. I feel like there's a huge gap between them two, and it's mainly just the stats in between, but I still think he's a lot better. If I was to look underneath there, Nainggolan is not a bad shout, but it's coming in at a whopping price. Maybe you go for, I don't think he's even had an inform yet, so that is kind of like the highest version for the price that it is. So I think it really would be, as a cam, going between Gomez or Eriksen. I know that Dybala, if I look at attackers, has just managed to get himself a centre forward, would be a cracking cam, but that relies on you then having to finish the SBC, which is obviously gone by now, so it depends on if you have actually got him or not. But again, I was impressed with Eriksen. I thought he was a nice card. He's kind of the mediocre version of a cam, but definitely worth a little pickup if you're running a Serie A team. He's not harmful to kind of go for it. He won't really drop in price now, I don't think, because realistically there's no supply for him, and then the demand at the moment is not necessarily always there because we have got icon packs and everything, so the market is high. He may drop down a little bit if the market does drop absolutely exponentially, but you've got a safety net to know his 86 is 42k, so I can't see him dropping really at all, really, in my opinion. But let me know down below, have you played with any of the Man of the Match cards? Are you expecting any more, or what would you like from Man of the Match? Let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you for the next one.